Superman is one of the most anticipated movies, especially this July. Just keep releasing the trailer. Second, with many details, and the appearance of the characters is more interesting. It's a strange topic for Superman, but more familiar to the audience. It's power control. Then in the trailer, what interesting details will there be on Monday? Let's explore together in the video. Opening video. It's a view of the city of Metropolis. Here we can see Luthor's tower. And this isn't going to be called a Lich Cop, it's going to be called a Luthor Cop. Then there's Clark Kent. Let Lois interview him as Superman. Now Clark Kent's in a very confident position. This is the energy source. You wouldn't normally get it. In Clark's role, we'll see that there will be two distinctly different tones. When you were Clark at first, the voice is still very comfortable and cheerful. But when I sat down for an interview as Superman, your voice will start to drop and get serious. In the 1978 Superman movie, Superman also let Lois interview me for the Daily Planet so the public doesn't see themselves as a threat, but the difference is that Lois doesn't recognize Superman. It's Clark like this. In a post, James Gunn has confirmed that this interview will last up to 12 minutes. That's almost 10% of the film. And the whole thing. This scene took 2 days to film, so that interview is going to be very important. It will also shape the content of the film itself. And even if I just hear a few key ideas, then we will also. Everyone knows what the problem with this movie is. It's similar to the Civil War that we've seen. That's when superheroes also need to obey the laws of other countries, because you're part of those countries. It's going to emphasize the role of Superman in this world, and explore the depth of your relationship with Lois. If you look closely at Lois's tape recorder brand, that would be Lost Tech. It's owned by billionaire Margellos, a familiar DC character. Patrick Stewart in Wonder Woman, a 984. While the conversation between them continues, then the scene shifts to daytime and we'll see the collapse of buildings. As if it were a min, it's a fight that Superman fought to be involved, and now the AI will be responsible for that. There will be a big shit down the road. This could be Nick Luthor's cruise ship. Next is the scene. Superman is walking and he's surrounded by a crowd of people. One of them was disgruntled and threw a can of fresh water into you. The interesting thing is in the trailer, there was a scene like this before. When thrown a can of water, Superman closed his eyes as if he were doomed. In this trailer, Superman doesn't blink. This is going to be a small intentional change from the filmmaker. And then to the view of the dragon. View from above. With Luce's words, that the Minister of Defense will investigate Superman's activities. Here we are. Frank Grillo is Rick Flag. He seems to be in a meeting of military officials, United States. This is Rick Flag in the future. Combat the last cartoon. Go back to the conversation. Superman countered that he had stopped him to stop a war. It's a picture of a war between armies. Baravia and a large group of people, less armed, are fighting back. Even if you pay close attention, you'll see they're holding a shovel. Some of them even threw weapons. Go out first and run away. It shows that this is a spontaneous act of the people against the invasion of the Baravians. So this could be a sensitive international conflict in a contested and unstable region. Superman intervened. Even if it's just trying to stop the bloodshed from an international perspective, it's still sensitive and it's not allowed. The tanks of Bravia. It also looks very futuristic with improved cannons. It may be implying that the weapon supplier to them will be the company Luthor, a relationship that will make Luthor. I want to find a way to stop Superman. There's Superman's fire shield. It's quite a trick. When you put it in this scene, I thought it was Superman. They're holding shells for the people. But behind Superman are the building's doorways. So this is actually going to be Superman stopping the fire of the giant monster in the middle of the city. Then there's Superman being captured by Rick Flag, Ultraman and Engineer. There will be a hole in the ground. So that's the scene right behind. Ultraman puts Superman's head on the ground. That means Superman was arrested right after this. To do that, Ultraman has been powered by kryptonite. You'll see the pain in Superman's eyes when it shrinks like it's high. The sign above says that this is a forgotten path. It's going to be a reference to DC's longtime comic book author. That's Mark Waver, author of Kingdom Come Superman Birthday. To the scene of Lex Luthor with a very angry expression on his face. With Louis' words, that you've asked the president's opinion. If it's like in the previous scene, when it comes to Minister, the Department of Defense is with Rick Flag. Lex Luthor's face. In a scene about the president. That's a reference to the power of Lex Luthor. It's still very high and very influential. Louis criticized Superman's actions, as if representing Hawkeye. The Clark angrily countered that. I don't represent anyone. He is no longer a calm Superman. That you went back to Clark's panic. There is one in this scene. The chain of buildings is collapsing under the domino effect, and it's pouring down a bridge. There's a lot of traffic up there. If this condition, not supported by others to rescue, Superman will eat enough. In this scene, there's something shining heat through buildings. This is Hammer of Barovia. It can be Barovia. to attack against Superman when they've intervened in their own affairs. Or this would be an intentional attack on Metropolis. So this revenge is going to make Superman. You must be responsible for your actions, deeply involved in their conflict. And it's affected many people in the United States. The government will have to get involved. Plus the pumping of poetry. Then Superman fell to the ground, creating a ruin in the middle of the neighborhood. All of these trailers see Superman being eaten onions in his mouth. So many people are saying Superman is looking a little weak. Right after that, everyone came. If you teach it, it will be contrary to the people. Blame. That means there will still be supporters for Superman. And at least this movie did one thing right. It's about having interactions between the bones with the people. It will look more real to life. In this scene, Luthor is going to attack straight into Superman's lonely fortress. We will be seen up close, the engineer's nanotechnology suit, when it can flexibly switch between the blades and use it to directly attack the robots. In the fortress, these robots will have a cloak like Superman. And in front of them, they'll have numbered serial numbers. Soon after, the whole of Krypto was on the attack. The right kind of housekeeping dog. This one must be quality. Then there's Superman punching through the glass door to get out of detention. In this detention facility, we'll see some footage. Superman is being held with Metamorpho, who can change the composition of the body into different materials. The Guardians. These are Lex Luthor's robots. They pull up Superman, while Metamorpho sits there, and convert the arm to blue. From Lex Luthor taking Metamorpho to take away the power of Superman, to make it easier to lock him up here. And in the scene where Superman breaks down the door, there's a very strong light in there. Is more likely. Metamorpho has changed its mind, convert kryptonite into solar energy, help Superman recover and escape. In this scene, Superman is flying and rescue a civilian who's about to get a Caillou. Stepped on the top of the building. There's a big screen showing the news. The reporter is Gory, the son of Superman Christopher Reeve. To the scene, Superman and Lois are holding each other in a room. Outside of the city, there's another fierce battle going on. This could be a Green Lantern. I'm fighting Caesar, the witch in future comics. The old man used the purple magic. We'll also have a scene like this. Clark as a child ran into his father's arms, with a spinning pretty amateur. But maybe this is just a video. The family is back, and then the scene of the present, when you're sitting in front of the floor talking. And Clark had a loving embrace with his father. Then the scene, Mr. Thorvik stepped off the train. Turn your hand to control your devices. They're attacking soldiers in armor. Maybe he's working for Luthor. There was also a fight scene in the previous trailer, at a wider angle. In the back, there's also a truck that says Luthor caught. This scene can be, Louis is investigating something at Luthor's place. Then the soldiers appear and Mr. Terrific came to the rescue. Next is the Lincoln scene. Looking at a panel, Krypton in the Lonely Fortress. It uses energy-powered crystal cores, the design of Superman 1978. There are also many symbols on this device. Krypton Luthor also said that Superman is not a god. It's just a human. It shows Luthor's contempt. Along with treatment, it's a shame he caught Superman. So this must be Super Spicy Superman, who ruined many of his profit plans. In the cell, there are hundreds of other small cells in this room. And right next to Superman, she's also another woman. So this neighborhood may be holding a lot of superpowered people. Another ability. Let him study and use or restrain himself. In this scene, Clark is injured and lying in bed. There are many veins in the neck. It turns out Clark's in a toxic condition, kryptonite. And then there's the emergence of BA members. Justice, the garter guy with the green power ring, and the steel back has the symbol of the Green Lantern. The character with wings is just Hawkgirl. The other is Mr. Travis, sitting on a flying chair. The church calendar also says, Superman is becoming the center of the world, and he's not going to be happy with that. The dissatisfaction. It's a battle of Superman, with Ultraman and Enzanego at the football field. Then there's Superman punching the Caillou in the mouth. Next to the building, there's a bulletin board with a note. That decision will take effect next week. In the conflict between the military and the people protest. This time, Green Lanterns also appear in that conflict. And use your power to fight. With a slight flick of the hand as if it wasn't very ominous. In this scene, Superman is fighting Hammer in Baravia. It's in another building. Istik Marco is. Take a quick check-in. Right, Chi. New Yorkers in the MCU are also optimistic. That's much better. The interesting thing is that it doesn't come from comics. She first appeared in the Superman movie in 1978 in this fast-forward scene. If you slow down, we'll see Superman appear in Lex Luthor's room, in a state of rage. What's interesting is that even though Superman put the table away, Luthor was sitting there calmly, as if nothing is too dangerous. Lex Luthor takes another sip of water in front of Superman, with a logo cup from my corporation. It adds a picture of the Spellix underneath to the Mr. scene. The terrorist and Louis are coming out of a device. The surrounding environment is like a tunnel. It's covered in blue. It is quite similar to the prison of the Holy Spirit. I can guess Mr. Teravic and Luis are attacking this prison to rescue Superman from the outside, following Luis' instructions. At the end of the trailer, Luis asks Clark, "Does the house have a dog?" Superman's second trailer will show that Superman is no longer an inviolable monument. It's just a man. Others are looking for a reason to survive. Younger and more real. No longer the cold-faced god as the cover. It's like someone struggling with a crisis. Identity. I'm the AI in the human world. Looking for people will be an instinct or an obligation. And I'm loved because I'm strong, or because I'm trying to do the right thing. James Gunn is not a Superman. As a god descended from the earth, it's like a young man with superpowers are learning how not to be feared or manipulated by humans. The heroic nature here is very clear. Nick Luthor is not just a villain, it's also a reflection of human society. Nicholas Hoult and Violet didn't scream like crazy. Jesse Eisenberg, not as cool as Kevin Spacey. The trailer reveals a wise Nick. Be calm and understand the psychology of the crowd. Lex will represent a society of fear that it can't control. And he's wise not to hit Superman with his own strength, but by public opinion, by law and by public trust. The critter won't just be a cute dog. It's going to be the humanization of Superman. This dog seems to reflect a loyalty, unconditional connection between Superman and the warmth of everyday life. The most obvious difference between DC and Marvel trailers, it's one that should be shining, is darkening, both figuratively and literally. DC said goodbye to Snyder's darkness and let the light of Jiren. James Gunn has changed the makeup for Superman. Brings bright colors, warm light. It's almost like a DC cartoon back in the 90s, but with modern cinema technology. Camera bay cow, surreal angle. It's not as heavy as Spider. Gunn is trying to say that Superman will be hope, not pressure. These are also my shares of the second trailer for Superman. It will be launched in July. Are you expecting a big change from Sinkin? No. Leave a comment below. And now, hello. See you in the next videos.